Hello viewers, welcome to my channel PC0 Kimberlite, a source of diamond. Today we are going to see a topic from metamorphic, that is the classification of metamorphic rocks. I am Dr. Saji Hundekar, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Geology, AKI is Pune College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Camp Pune, Maharashtra, India. It is affiliated to Savitribai Phule Pune University, that is SPPU Pune, and formerly it is known as University of Pune. This particular topic, classification of metamorphic rock, has been divided into introduction, characteristics of contact metamorphism, cataclysmic metamorphism, regional metamorphism, dinothermal metamorphism, and some description of the rock like a slate, phyllite, quartzite, marble, seed, gneiss, and eclogites. So we will start first with the introduction. Now everyone know the metamorphic rock. These metamorphic rock, meta means new, morphism in phase. A new phase of a rock will be formed. And these phase of rock, when it is formed, that pre-existing rock, whether it may be igneous rock or it may be sediment rock, they have been subsided and heat, pressure and chemical activity will act on that, and due to that we are going to get the new rock, a new phase of rock. By molecule rock will crystallize. At the same time a crystal will be formed, so it will be a totally new phase of rock. This will be a tertiary rock, a new phase of rock, and it is totally different than what we have, the igneous rock, sedimentary. So here we have the metamorphic rock. Now what are the characters of the metamorphic rock? That video has been already uploaded now. Characters of igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic rock, but here we'll see a little bit. So metamorphic rock is a crystalline, it is a solid, and it contains maybe one or maybe two minerals or might be three minerals, not more than that. And in that, depending upon the what type of minerals are there, hornblende cyst. So if the hornblende is dominating in that, and what will be the structure is there, that is cystostructure, hornblende cyst we call. If it is gneiss structure, and in that which mineral is dominating, the mica, so mica gneiss. So this is the way we are going to make out the identification of the rock. So here we are going to make out that these will be give the varieties of metamorphic rock, right from how the degree of metamorphism has taken place from the surface to greater depth, and what will be the degree of the heat, pressure and chemical active fluid which is act on that. So for example, if we take out any particular rock, say the simplest, softest rock is the sedimentary rock, is the shell. Yes, that is the argillaceous rock. And these argillaceous, whether mudstone, shale and siltstone, if they are subjected to the metamorphism, then we are going to get the chlorite, muscovite. These are the minerals we are going to get. So first slate will be formed from the shell, then slate will be converted to the phyllite, phyllite will be converted to the gneissos, granulose. So this is the way how this rock go on increasing as the degree of the temperature is go on increasing, the pressure go on increasing. So as the temperature is go on increasing, then the biotite will develop, muscovite will develop, chlorite will develop. Then as the temperature will be goes very high, garnet, starlite, kyanite, these minerals are going to get, and these are very important minerals which will be useful for the classification of igneous rock. That is the based on what will be the phases and the zones of the metamorphic, that is in which particular these minerals are been there in the zone, we are going to get that assemblages. So the simple classification is based on first the simple composition. What is the composition of that original metamorphic rock is there, and what will be the rock product as well we are going to define. So example, the original rock is the argillaceous. If the cataclysmic metamorphism, slate will be the first. Shell is converted to the slate, that is a low grade metamorphic rock. Then come to the next sandstone. If the thermal metamorphism is there, quartzite, sandstone is converted to quartzite. If the pure sandstone is there, pure that is a white sandstone, we are going to get the white quartzite. If there is a reddish sandstone is there, we are going to get the pinkish quartzite. So depending upon what impurity which are there in that particular original rock, on the basis of that we are going to get the similar colors, combinations we are going to get into that particular the metamorphic rock. Like a limestone, a pure limestone is there, pure marble, white marble is there, and as go on increasing, Mg marble is there, gray will be going to come out. So this is the way you are going to get varieties of the marble based on the impurities of that particular limestone which is there. Then the argillaceous, like a shell and mudstone, if the dinothermal metamorphism is there, we are going to get muscovite cyst, mica garnet schist, biotite schist, and the biotite dye. So you can see further the thermal metamorphism, we are going to get the schist and the gneiss. Then basic metamorphic rock, igneous rock like a basalt and gabbro. Dinothermal metamorphism is there, dark color rock. Yes, here we have dark color. Here also we are going to get dark color. Hornblende schist, it is a dark green color. Hornblende gneiss, again dark color. Biotite schist is again dark. Biotite gneiss is also dark. So because whatever the original rock and what will be the color will be there, accordingly we are going to get. So this is what we have, the product of the metamorphism. Now the characters of the contact metamorphism. Now the contact metamorphism is what? That whatever the igneous intrusion which have been taking place, and due to that intrusion, whatever the surrounding rock, it may be igneous rock, it may be sedimentary rock, any rock will be there, and that heat will be transferred from that particular igneous intrusion to the surrounding rock, and depending upon how much result will be there, how much temperature has been transferred, on the basis of that we are going to get the metamorphism, and this metamorphism is called as contact metamorphism. That is a small area surrounding the intrusion is get heated by the magma. Metamorphism is restricted to the zone surrounding the intrusion is called as metamorphic, or it is called as simple contact aureole. So within that zone, that metamorphism has taken place. So outside the contact metamorphism, rocks are not affected by the intrusive event, as it is normal, whatever the rock is there, sedimentary, whichever the rock, limestone is there, sandstone, whatever the thing is there, it will remain. But in that particular zone where the temperature has been transferred, that gets heated, baking effect has been taken place, and due to that the metamorphism has taken place. That is the contact metamorphism, or contact aureole will be called as, and that will be based on the how much temperature is there. You can see this igneous intrusion, and this much layer of that particular surrounding rock gets heated, and due to that it is metamorphism has taken place in that areas, and this is what we have, the surrounding rock which will be there. So this is what we have, the no foliation, that is the hornfels we are going to make out. The next what we are going to make out in that contact metamorphism, that will be sharing will be there of the heat and the hot fluid between the magma and the within the whatever the magma is intruded into the rocks, and the pressure that is either directed or uniform pressure that is going to effects almost negligible, because here the heat will be important major factor will be there for that particular contact metamorphism. If the calcareous rock like a limestone and arenaceous rock like a sandstones are there, then develop a granulose texture, and thermally metamorphosed limestone will be converted to marble, and the sandstone will be converted to quartz, and depending upon the colors we are going to get the similar varieties of marble and the quartzites after the metamorphism. So here we are going to make out that whatever the metamorphism, characteristic metamorphism, this has been taking place on the surface of the earth, where what is happening, whatever the pressure is there, that has been divided into two categories. One we called as directed pressure, and second one is called as uniform pressure. On the surface there will be only one uniform direction pressure load is there, so that is called as direct pressure. But as we go inside within the earth, we will find out that direct pressure is go on decreasing, and uniform pressure will go on at a greater depth. We have uniform pressure is very high, direct pressure will be zero. So on the surface there will be a unidirectional pressure is there, and that pressure, due to that pressure, whatever the pre-existing rock like a shell, which is the mudstone which is there, in that whatever the material which is grains are there, they are randomly arranged, and due to that pressure, to minimize that particular pressure, slightly there is a change. Say example, here we have the two minerals are there. Can you see now? Yeah. So if you want to act a pressure will be act on that. So to minimize the pressure, they will slightly turn towards the roughly parallel together, and a rough cleavage to the rock has been formed, and that we called as a slaty cleavage. Hence the calcareous rocks like a limestone as well as the argillaceous rock like a sandstone, once they are gone under metamorphism, then what is they going to give? They will give you the granulose texture, and they are thermally metamorphosed. And if pure limestone is there, pure sandstone, pure marble is going to form. If it is there in the limestone, we are going to get the varieties of the shades in the marble. Similar one in the quartz. In the quartzite also, once the sandstone is pure, we get the pure quartzite. If there is the impurities there, then we are going to get the varied color. So these are what we are going to get about due to the contact metamorphism. Now the cataclastic metamorphism is being done by the directed pressure. So whatever the pressure is there, it has been divided into two categories. One is directed pressure and second one is the uniform pressure. Now directed pressure is acted on the surface where it is a very high, and you go deep inside within the earth, we'll find out directed pressure go on decreasing, and ultimately the uniform pressure is go on increasing. And due to this, what is happening? Those argillaceous rocks, shale, mudstone, these rocks, once they go under the cataclastic metamorphism, whatever the mineral, for example, these three minerals are there which are randomly arranged, and the force will be acted now. The force will be acted from that direction. So this will be, they will be just shifted themselves to make this pressure minimize. For example, if I keep a load of 10 kgs, I will hold for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but after that it is unbearable. So I getting the sweatings, yes, and after some time I will start shifting my head perpendicular to the force in the horizontal direction. So to minimize, and after that if it is unbearable, I'll take out my head. The same thing is happening on this particular rock also. The shell which is there, it has gone under this particular metamorphism. The mineral which are randomly arranged, they try to make the rough cleavage to the rock and the slaty cleavage. The slate rock has been formed which shows you the rough. So the randomly arranged mineral, just they will become roughly parallel to this with the alignment, and in that wear and tear has taken place. The fragments are broken down, sericitization has taken place, and we are going to get the new metamorphic rock that we called as the slate rock. And still it is increased, then slate will convert into the phyllite. So this is the way the pressure once is go on increasing, that has to be taken place. So here the harder mineral remain uncrushed, while the less resistant mineral undergo grinding, crushing will be there, and breakdown will be taken place. And this cause the lamination of the argillaceous rock gets deformed with the development of small folds or mega crenellation that will be going to form in that particular the slate rock. And continuing action of stress, the rock develop a crenellation cleavage, and further development of crenellation cleavage, slaty structure finally form in the rock. So this is the way the process has continued go on increasing. Now the next one what we have, the regional or dynamothermal, in between what we have, the thermal metamorphism. Now once this rock which is there on the surface, direct pressure act on this, rest one is 0, and as you go a little bit deeper one below that side, then the temperature will act on that particular rock. So due to this temperature, whatever the metamorphism has taken place, that is called as thermal metamorphism. And if this thermal metamorphism has taken place for a smaller area, we call it as a local metamorphism, and is taken place for a longer area, we call it as is the regional metamorphism. So that has to be a belt will be a longer one, hundreds of kilometers area has gone under the temperature. That is the vital play or role will be there, and still the pressure also act together, then the thermal metamorphism will become as the dynamothermal metamorphism. That is, the heat will be tremendous, heat will be formed in that process, and whatever the pre-existing rock is there, it has more evolved, and we are going to get the new structures will be there. So that will be going to form with this particular part. So with this is gneiss, amphibolite, granulite, these are the rock which have been formed by these thermal metamorphism and the dynamothermal metamorphism. Foliation which will be there, the secondary foliation is going to form with this particular part, depending upon what type of the composition is there. Slate, phyllite, then we have biotite, chlorite schist will be formed, glauconite schist, mica schist. So all the schist, then the gneiss, then amphibolite, then granulite. So this is the way as the temperature, pressure go on increasing, this is the way the range of rock which is going to form. From the argillaceous to the whatever we have, the basic igneous rock gets metamorphosed in that particular process, and we are going to get the varieties of the rock at the due to heat and pressure. So the phyllite is converted into cis will convert to the gneiss will convert to the granular structure. So that is there. So here we are going to see now the whatever we have on the surface, slate, phyllite, cis, gneissos and granular, that is the lithosphere, that is the pressure will be generated 100 degree, 200 degree, 300, 400 and 500. So this will be the temperature. As you go on making that, the temperature go on increasing. So here also the regional metamorphism, long extent, low temperature, low pressure will be there. As you go deeper one, high temperature, high pressure will be there. And this is the intermediate state where we have the low temperature and high pressure, because still the overburden will be going to make out at that particular point. So due to that we have the various location, we are going to get the various metamorphism, that is low temperature, low pressure, then the low temperature, high pressure metamorphism, then high temperature and high pressure. So these are the three different conditions, and due to this what we are going to make out now, increasing temperature in this x direction and on the y direction increasing the pressure. As the pressure go on increasing, what will be going to happen, how the rock has been going to transform. The shale rock converted to the shale rock which is there, it is low grade, it is converted into the slate will convert to schistose will convert into the gneissos will be converted to the high grade migmatite. So this is the way increasing metamorphic grade is there, increasing temperature, and this side we have increasing pressure. Another angle we are giving you, shale converted into slate will convert into phyllite will schistose will be converted into gneissos. Here again the same thing, the shale, high increasing temperature, limestone, then we are going to get the marble, coarse marble, fine marble, then the shell, chlorite will going to form, sandy shale is there, muscovite is going to form, sandstone is there, that is a quartzite. This is the what we have, igneous intrusion. So this is where we are going to get the various formations. Similar one here also we are given. So I have tried here maximum so that you can get the idea how this particular rocks has been formed at that particular level. So due to this, as from the surface, if you go down and down, temperature, pressure is go on increasing. So another best example is given for here. I don't think you can clearly see this slide. Myself is not been happy with it, but I thought if we can share it, shale, slate, phyllite, schist, then gneissos and migmatites, and the rest one rocks, it is not clear as the what we are going to make out. So we'll see the next one. Yes, you can see the increasing metamorphism. Yes, the coarseness, chlorite, then we have biotite, andalusite, garnet, yes, then sillimanite, quartz, feldspar. So this is the way the high temperature pressure minerals, chlorite, muscovite, biotite, andalusite, garnet, cordierite, staurolite, kyanite, sillimanite. These are the very high pressure temperature minerals. This is a phylitic rock, a low grade, medium grade and high grade, slate, schist, gneiss and the phyllite. So this is the way the metamorphism process. Again the same one I am going to show you various angle. So the metamorphic index mineral, sedimentation low grade and to the high grade, medium to high grade, increasing temperature, pressure increase. Clay mineral, chlorite, muscovite, biotite, garnet, kyanite, sillimanite, feldspar and the quartz. So this is what we have the index. Similar one, rough guide to the effect of metamorphism on the different protolith. Yes, the what we have, the protolith is there, that is mud rock, granite, basalt, sandstone and limestone. We will see very low grade, 150 to 300 degree. Then low grade 300 to 450 grade. Then medium grade 450 to 550. Then high grade above 550. Say mudstone will be converted slate, phyllite, schist and gneiss. Granite if you say no change up to 550, but after that granite gneiss. Basalt you can see at the very low grade and growth will find chlorite schist, and still above 450 amphibolite gneiss is going to form. Sandstone no change up to 300 degree temperature, but there is a little bit change is there about to 300, but 550 above we are going to get the quartzites. Then limestone little bit change, but the change will be there above 300, that is the marble. So this is the various combination I have been make out for yourself. Is again The temperature we have taken go on increasing 200, 400, 600, 800, and at the same time pressure we have been exerted 2000 bar, 4000 bar, 6000, 8000. That is 10,000, 12, the atmospheric pressure will be there. That is as per the depth is also given. So you can see how this process will be there. Zeolite phases, green schist phases, hornfels phases, granulite, amphibolite. So these are the phases. Now I can see the eclogite. So it will be at a very high, that we can see the temperature at the kilometers at a very greater depth. So this is just the idea which has given. Yes, this is also a class A, B, C, D. That is the igneous, what we have, the rocks we are going to make out very fine, medium to coarse, medium to coarse, medium to grain. That is what parent rock is there, mud shale, mudstone, siltstone, that is going to form as the foliated rocks, metamorphic rocks, then slate, phyllite, schist, granite rocks, gneissos. Then these are all what we are going to get ABCD. Then we have migmatite, mylonite, then microconglomerate is there, then hornfels, and the fault variation. So this is the very varieties which have been given. So now basically you have to write in the theory as well as in the practical the description of some metamorphic rocks. So we have taken here some basic rocks. Slate. Now slate is a low grade cataclastic metamorphism where the direct pressure is act on the argillaceous material. That is the best one, shale rock we have been taken into the consideration, and due to this compression what is happening, align the different, whatever the minerals are aligned in the different direction, due to the pressure, directed pressure, slightly they change their orientation to minimize the pressure, and due to that the wear and tear of the rock has taken place. See, whatever the fine crystals which have been formed, they will be recrystallized as the silicites will grow, and the rough cleavage to the rock has been formed, and that particular what we have, the foliation is going to give you the slaty cleavage, and the slate rock will be formed. So this is the way the slate will be formed, which shows you the slaty cleavage, and that is the rough cleavage parallel to the perpendicular to the direction of the force it will be formed. That is what we have, that will be mentioned. Then the next one, still the pressure is gone increasing, then the slate is further act together, and there the perfect needle minerals, all the needle or flaky minerals become parallel together and giving rise to a perfect cleavage, and the phyllite rock where the chloride, sericite minerals are formed, some muscovites will be there, and that is the important. So chloride will be there, that is the bright luster will be shown by muscovite as well as the fluorite minerals, and this is normally somewhat a greenish, not exactly dark greenish, but that is once the next state phyllite will convert into the next one, the chloride is there. You can see it is a perfectly foliated form and green color showing you the vitreous luster will be there, so that part will be there. But here in the chloride what we are going to get, that part will be greenish in color, and the split will be there, the cleavage will be perfect in that, so that will be called as what we have, the phyllites. Then come to the next one is quartzite and marble. These are the two important rocks which has gone under the thermal metamorphism of the pre-existing rock, whether it is limestone or sandstone. If the sandstone has been metamorphosed, we get the quartzite. If it is pure sandstone, pure quartzite, that is white one. If it is a reddish sandstone is there, we are going to get the reddish quartzite. So green is there, addition is there, green quartzite. So these are the variation. Similar one we are going to see the varieties of the marble, because these are the marble will be used for the decoration purpose of the building in the hotels, wherever malls if you go, there can see varieties of the marble, but these marble are metamorphosed from the limestone, and that limestone contains a lot of contamination, and due to that contamination we are going to get the various colors. And the quartzite is also formed from the siliceous sandstone, banded hematite quartzite, ferruginous sandstone, and marble is from the limestone or dolomitic limestone, that we are going to make out that particular part, and we are going to get the varieties of the color. Granulose form is there, and sometimes the grains have its own one we call as granular. If there is a sharing of boundaries are there, then there will be a maculose structure will be going to form. The next one is cystose structure. Now the cystose structure, what we have, whatever the flaky or needle minerals are there, they are perfectly parallel, and perfect parallel is there, and there will be a set of cleavage, one set of cleavage is there, and that is called as the cystose. And if the dominating mineral is hornblende cis. Dominating mineral is actinolite cis. If dominating mineral is sillimanite cis. If the kyanite is dominating, kyanite cis. So these are based on the rock which have been formed, the dynamothermal or regional metamorphism of basic igneous rock, and in that biotite, hornblende, actinolite, the sillimanite, these are the kyanite will be there. So they are going to form. Now first we have to identify first what will be the structure, then next one with the one or two properties identify which mineral is there and identify the name of that particular rock, that is a cystose. Mica garnet cis. Now mica is there, garnet is very few, that's why we have given it written mica garnet cis, hornblende cis, actinolite cis, kyanite cis, gneiss. This is also a dynamothermal or regional metamorphism of on different rocks, and here we are going to get one band of rounded one band of needle one. So rounded one is a white color, and the flaky or needle minerals are there, they are dark in color. So alternate, there is a white and dark band is there, and that gives you the gneiss structure. And dominating mineral is what? If it is hornblende gneiss. If the dominating mineral is muscovite gneiss. If the dominating mineral is a biotite gneiss. So this is where we are going to make out. So we have the quartz and feldspathic mineral as a white one that will be there. So this is the way the gneiss structure, and normally hornblende is a dark color. So from the basic igneous rock we are going to get the hornblende gneiss. Eclogite. It is the equidimensional minerals of pyroxene and the garnet. It is equigranular aspect to the rock and formed by the basic igneous rock born under the plutonic metamorphism at high uniform pressure and high temperatures. So now with this we are going to see what are the important points we have seen. That is, the classification is based on the factor caused by metamorphism, that is different phases, zones, that is the special mineral assemblages are there. And here in the contact metamorphism, the magma will be included in surrounding rock, gets heated, heat will be transferred, and due to that the metamorphism. Cataclastic metamorphism, only the direct pressure act on that, and due to that we have the shale argillaceous rock gets converted into the slate one. Regional metamorphism has taken place at a very long, hundreds of square kilometer area. If it is smaller one, that is a thermal metamorphism. If it is for a smaller area, we call as the local metamorphism, or simply we call thermal metamorphism. Then slate, it will convert into phyllite will convert into cis will convert into gneiss will convert into granular structure. So this is the way you are going to make out slaty cleavage, rough cleavage to the rock, and along with the rock and slate. If it is the slate will be gone again under the high pressure, we are going to get the phyllite which will be there, the cis rock, cis will be there. Then the last one we have the quartzites at the marble where we have granular textures will be there. So biotite, hornblende, actinolite, these are the minerals which are there in the cis rock. So hornblende cis, actinolite cis, garnet, this is the way we are going to make out that. Similar one, gneiss structure. If you identify gneiss, mica gneiss, biotite gneiss, or we have the hornblende gneiss, this is the way you can identify organ gneiss structures. Then eclogite, where we have the pyroxene and a garnet, equigranular mineral is there. So that will be main. So these are the points you have to be remember. Just what we have, the granular structure and maculose granular, each grain has its own boundary, but that boundaries have been shared between the adjacent mineral, then it is called as maculose, and this maculose will be done effect of the thermal metamorphism. Yes, this is the way we have done the topic from the metamorphism, that is the classification of metamorphic rock. Still the other rocks which are there we will see in the next time. Thank you. Have a nice day.